This video looks at the construction of the sub-base and base course layers of a flexible pavement road. We looked at the methodology and plant used when constructing a pavement as part of the road construction topic. In this topic, we will look at the processes and tests we need to undertake to ensure that the pavement is constructed to the specified requirements. The road pavement is constructed once the subgrade has been completed and tested. The subbase is then laid in 150 to 200 millimeter layers. Each layer is compacted and tested before the next layer is placed. The limit on the layer thickness is to ensure that the full depth of the layer is properly compacted. With an urban road, the next step is to construct the Kerbin Channel on both sides of the road. The base course that will follow will be constrained by the Kerbin Channel. That is, the Kerbin Channel provides horizontal support for the base course. Therefore, the Kerbin Channel needs to be left for a week or so to allow it to develop enough strength to resist the horizontal force that will be generated when the base course is laid and compacted. The base course is laid when the Kerbin Channel has reached its required strength. The base course is usually 200 millimeters or less, so it can be laid in one layer. It is then compacted and shaped. Primary compaction is carried out with a minimum amount of passes of a vibrating roller. The shaping is done by a grader. The surface is then rolled with a static steel roller and pneumatic tired roller to provide secondary compaction to tighten up the road surface. The secondary compaction may be done in conjunction with a running course. The running course is an AP20 aggregate with significant fine sand content. The roller compacts and kneads the finer particles into the surface, filling any voids and locking the surface up better. Road traffic may be diverted over the surface to further aid the secondary compaction. An unconfined pavement does not have a Kerbin channel confining the base course. Instead, there is a tapered edge leading down to a side drain. The issue here is how to get full compaction of the road width. Rollers cannot go close to the edge of the road as they could tip over the edge, or the edge could collapse under the weight of the compactor. So the unconstrained road is overbuilt as shown here. In other words, it's wider than it needs to be. Compactors compact close to the edge, but not close enough to pose a safety threat. The tapered edge is then cut into the compacted material using a grader or an excavator. The uncompacted edge material is removed and reused elsewhere on the road. So the full width of the road is now fully compacted. The most commonly used specification for subbase and base course construction is TNZB2, specification for the construction of unbound granular pavement layers. Note that in this case, the word pavement refers to just the subbase and the base course, not the surfacing, which is technically also part of the pavement. I will use the word pavement in this video and later ones to refer to the subbase and base course, but remember that technically the surfacing is also part of the pavement. This specification, TNZB2, sets out the requirements for the pavement construction. For example, Section 4 states that the pavement layers need to be of uniform thickness. Section 5 sets out the tolerances for the pavement width and level. Tolerances are how much deviation from the specified dimension is allowed. We will look at the tolerances in more detail later on. Section 7 has the requirements on how the construction process itself is conducted and what testing is required. Section 10 provides details on the material and methods that may be employed if running course is used. Section 12 describes how the finished surface is to be prepared and inspected prior to sealing. I suggest you look through TNZB2 to see how it is set out and what it contains. The next few videos will look at some of the requirements in more detail.